What's up? What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome in to it's my second one. We started it last week. We're doing it again this week. I'm going to react to the college football playoff rankings for this week, and I got to open this video out with just saying, don't you love it when you're right? Don't you love it? But before I actually get into everything, make sure to check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/Most Valid Podcast. That is how you help support the channel so we can keep doing videos and podcasts like we do for you each and every day. But I got to say, I love being right. I love it. It's not a look I get to wear often. First off, the smug look. Second, being right, because I tweeted out on Saturday after all the games were done. I was like, you know what? This is my top 5. And it was or my top 6. And it was exactly what the committee said. LSU at 1, OSU at 2, Clemson moves up to 3, Georgia moves up to 4, Bama falls to 5, Oregon at 6. Exactly the same. Exactly the same. And I got tweets upon tweets. One of them coming from my good colleague, fellow primetime podcast host with me, Brandon Swanson, young Swanee. And he said, no way Bama doesn't get in the top 4. No way Georgia's in the top 4. They have a bad loss against South Carolina. And I tried to explain to him, it's all about when that loss happened. Think back to Ohio State. Ohio State made the playoffs as an 11-1 team. They lost to a Virginia Tech team week 1 or week 2 of that season. It's all about when the loss happens. Bama, most recent loss, that's going to stick in the brains of the committee more than that South Carolina loss. So, I mean, I was reading the committee's minds on this one. Do I have any problems with it? Obviously not, because I was thinking the same thing, and I feel like the committee and I are on the same wavelengths. Georgia, their loss happened a while ago. Bama's was recently, and let's be totally honest, LSU, here, let me pull up the standings right now for the SEC live here on this video. Not going to do a jump cut like I normally would. Right now, Georgia has how many games left? They've got 3 games left against Auburn, Texas A&M, and then they play Georgia Tech. So really 2 games in the SEC left. Florida also has 2. And I mean, if you look back, so really Georgia, in order to, first off, they got to win out to make it. Georgia ain't making the playoffs if they don't win out. They got a tough Auburn opponent that they're going on the road to play this week. If they lose this game, their season's done. Their season is done unless they can get an upset from the Missouri. Honestly, unless they can get an upset from the Missouri Tigers this week, because Florida has the tiebreaker. Florida's only got one more SEC game to go because they play Florida State at the end of the year. So, I mean, if you look at it that way, I mean, Georgia's got to win to be able to keep going. And then if they do win their next 2 SEC games, congratulations, you get to play LSU. So, I mean, really, if Georgia is going to make the college football playoff, they have to win out. There's no way that even if they lost this week, they're done. They're done because they're not going to be in the SEC title game then unless Mizzou somehow beats Florida this weekend. Florida is playing them this weekend, right? Yeah, this weekend. So, I mean, really with Georgia, if you're a Bama fan upset that they're in the playoff, don't. It's all going to play out by the end of the year. The one I think is the most interesting is Oregon, because if they win the Pac-12, what happens to them? What happens there? Because you would think LSU, if they went out, they're in. OSU, if they went out, they're in. Clemson, if they went out, they're in. Right then and there, you got to probably decide between if Alabama wins out the regular season, they wouldn't have a conference championship. If Oregon wins out, they both have 1 loss. What are you doing? I mean, I know Bama would then have, our losses against the number 1 team in the nation. Oregon would have, it would basically be Penn State and Ohio State all over again. And I'd say the committee would pick Alabama, although they probably should pick Oregon because they have a conference championship. And why do you have these conference championships if they're not going to mean anything? Also, I'm going to talk about this on the Primetime Podcast that I'm going to record later tonight. You're seeing this on Wednesday. tonight I'm going to record a primetime podcast. I'm going to talk about Minnesota. What do you think of their jump? They jumped 9 spots. They're now at, let me pull up the rankings again. They are at number 8. So they're kind of creeping close to maybe being in that top 6. So let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you obviously think about the rankings. Alabama fans, how are you guys feeling? Are you on the side that I'm saying that, hey, it's all going to play out? The best team will be in the playoff. That's what I feel should be the mindset of Alabama fans. But obviously, let me know what you guys think down below. Make sure to check out patreon.com/mostvaluedpodcast, where you can go support us. Make sure we can keep doing this great content for you guys. And as always, have a good day, everybody.